All right, guys, we are back. It is Wednesday, so usually today would be my quaternary bench. But like I said in the previous video, for some reason, this day just continues to show up strong. So we're actually making it the primary this week, and hopefully I can load up around 210, maybe even 212 and a half keys and see how fast it would move. Because I did bench yesterday. I do feel a little bit of fatigue in the chest, but I think that fatigue brings readiness. That fatigue primes me, actually. So I need to hold a certain amount of fatigue to execute my top end, and that's what we're gonna test out today. So my tertiary bench, which was on Sunday, I think I loaded around, 175 for a set of 3 or 4. And it was close grip, or I guess moderate grip. And then yesterday I had my secondary bench where I loaded a top double with 177.5 and then a fatigue single with 190, but it was a 2-count pause. So I do feel a little bit of soreness and fatigue. Also, I did back yesterday as well. And like I said in the last four videos, I'm pushing the accessories to the max to make sure I can pack on as much tissue as I physically can, because that is, I think, my bottleneck at the moment. I am not the biggest 83. I have a lot more room to grow. I could be leaner as well. So the whole goal of this off season, or I guess prep, is just to put on as much lean tissue as I can. But yeah, I'm gonna go on to bench now. I'm taking, like I said, the blue, maybe the blue and the chip, so 210, 212, and hopefully the strength is there and it can prime me for 4 reds next week. So wish me luck. Hopefully bench is not chopped and we can finally figure it out, but we'll see literally right now. So give me like a couple minutes and I'll show you the warm-ups, and then I'll record all the way to the top set.
Come on. Start. Press. Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. I knew it was there.
All right, so at least I hit the bench, and I was definitely stronger today than I was on the primary, where I took 205 at a very similar RPE. But I am feeling a little bit of fatigue, especially in the chest and the triceps. I think yesterday's session was a bit too intense, where I took the 192 count. So last week I took, I think, 180 the day before, and I ended up benching 205 on that quaternary, right? And then that's when I actually realized and solidified that, okay, my quaternary day is 100% stronger than the primary. But then I continued to progress the weights on the other days, and I think the fatigue was just a little bit too high. So I'm going to try to not revert back, but I'm gonna pull back my Tuesday session, so the secondary. I'm going to pull back Friday session as well, which was the original primary. And obviously I'm not going to take 205 on those days. So hopefully with this adjustment, pulling back next session, the original primary, but not anymore. It's going to be the new, I guess, secondary. I'm still going to keep it as a heavy exposure. I'm still going to hit around like 190, 195 for a single, but I don't think I need to touch over 200 to prime me on this day in particular. I'm still going to push my mid-grip day, which is my tertiary. That's going to be as normal. Probably going to go to like 180 for 3, which is fine. But I'm not going to push my original secondary, that Tuesday session, yesterday session basically. I'm not going to push that. I'm going to keep that pretty sub max, probably pull back to like 180, eliminate the 2 count, just do a regular comp pause bench, and see how that affects me. I'll also, not sandbag, but deload my accessories as well. So really trying to recovery max going forward. But at least we know that this day, no matter if I'm cooked or not, it's still stronger than the primary, even when I show up in the primary not feeling fatigued. So that's a win. We collected good data. And 212 isn't bad. That's still more than what I hit last block. Granted, it was a fatigue single last block, but still very happy with over 210 today. But yeah, next week should be stronger if I make the adjustments, and hopefully we can solidify even more data, because I really want to have concrete tools that I can deploy during my off season, during my preps, right? So if I need to do the back-to-back bench days, I will, but it seems to be that I can't just have Fridays, I can't have that rest day, and I need less exposure. I don't need such heavy-ass touches to bench a lot, because last week I probably had 212 at a faster RPE, and the day before was nowhere near 190, right? Like I said, it was probably like 180. So yeah, that's it. Adjustments will be made. Collected some good data. I got to solidify it next week, so we'll see what happens. But this Friday, coming up on the SBD, I'll just make it easy. Like I said, probably 190 at most, and hopefully that's enough to maintain my my adaptations to the higher loads. So yeah, done with the ramble. We'll see you on Friday, but overall, not too mad about today's session. What's going on, guys? It is episode 6 of the road to Sheffield, and I believe I am officially 10 weeks out. It is week 3 of my 3rd block out as well, so I got some big triples on both squat and deadlift. For squat, I'm trying to take around 606, so 275 kilo, and deadlift, hopefully I can get around 325 today. We'll see. Sadly, on my secondary day, I felt a small aggravation, we can call it, in my lower back. It feels fine right now, but the lower back and actually my left hip as well have been giving me some issues. So I'm going to experiment with a narrower stance on the squat and try to avoid some pain as much as possible and let my body just feel good. Yes, the wider stance feels better, like in the sense of strength output, but it's putting a lot of pressure on my hips, and I'm not going to force my body to enter a position it doesn't want to go into. So even with all the mobility that I do, all the steps that I take, it's still not, I think, adequate enough to get me into that super wide stance, low bar position. I'm probably still going to keep the low bar in the same position on my back, but I'm going to just narrow my stance up a bit and get a little more knee travel over the toes. So let's see how that works. And for bench today, we are taking the same exact rep schemes and all that. We're just simply pulling back the load substantially. So last week on this day, I did 205 kilo to try to replicate the 205 I did on the quaternary. However, I think that did bring too much fatigue throughout the rest of the week. So today I'm going to take around like a week 1 weight, like 190 kilo for like a single. The top double is going to be like 180 or something, and then the back downs will be pretty chill as well. But yeah, deadlift, sadly on my secondary, I actually couldn't deadlift at all. On my third warm-up. So I usually go 1 red, 3 red, 5 reds, and I was working up to 280. So since I know I felt a little bit of pain and discomfort, I was going to take the 1 plate at a time warm-up. So I did 1 red, 2 red, and then on 3 reds, I felt some movement back there. And after that, I decided to call the session. I just went home, recovered, did some mobility, foam rolled, and all that. So hopefully I can deadlift today. And it may feel heavy in the hands because I didn't have the opportunity to get my secondary deadlift done, but I'd rather play it safe and not risk further injury or aggravation. So it is what it is. I'm just trying to show you guys and be as transparent as possible, because a lot of people think that once you're at the top of the sport, things come easy, right? Progression just comes easy. And when I post my week 4s, I post all these PRs pretty frequently. Throughout the entire process, there are some road bumps and obstacles. So not everything is pretty, not everything is perfect. There are a lot of normal occurrences that I have to deal with compared to the average lifter as well. Like it's all a sport at the end of the day. The body will almost like fight your own will sometimes. Like as you want to get stronger, sometimes your body's being stubborn. It may give here and there, and that's when you have to make the adjustments and take the mature and responsible approach afterwards. So we'll see. On to my session now. We're gonna warm up on squats. We'll first do some cardio, then we're gonna do some mobility work, and then warm up on squats. And hopefully I can execute the 275 to 606 pound triple today. And if not, it is what it is. I'm not gonna get too tied up in it, but the body feels decent. It feels, actually my lower back, I actually don't feel anything right now. It's just in the left hip. So if I can warm it up properly, maybe take an ibuprofen or two, some Tylenol, and hopefully that'll be enough to allow me to get into a good squat position. So yeah, done yapping. Sorry for the raggedy hair and the facial hair as well. Gotta get it cut. But not for real. On to my session. Hopefully things go good, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, whoa. Two more, you gotta fight. Come on. Up. Oh, yeah, that's fine. One more. Up. Yes, sir. Back.
No, we're going on the red.
So definitely not the easiest 275 I've ever done. Just last block, I hit that same exact weight for 4 reps, and I think it was a very similar RPE. And then the last triple block I did before Advances, took that same exact weight on the same exact week, so week 3, and it moved a lot better as well. And then the week after, I ended up taking 290 kilo, which was a PR triple at the time. So next week, I'm gonna try to go back to the wider stance, but if my body isn't cooperating, then I'll have to just thug it out with a narrow stance and take what's there, because I'm not gonna force it. I just want my body to feel healthy and feel strong, and I'm trying to avoid the pain as much as possible. So if I can't take 290, 295, then I'll just go under the cap and just take what my body, like I said, allows me to. So we'll see. I'm not gonna just give up on the plan. The plan is still to PR, So I'm gonna try to hammer the mobility, try to maybe enter a slight surplus because the body weight is pretty light right now, like 85.1. I've been that weight for the last like 5-6 days because I came from originally I was like 86.2, then I cut to like 84.7, and now I'm a little higher as well, or higher now because I have been eating at maintenance. So I just probably restored some of that water weight that I ended up losing. So I'm gonna try to enter a slight surplus, be more diligent with the sleep and the recovery, and do more mobility, try to get that hip back in line, and then hopefully I can come into next week's primary feeling a lot stronger, and hopefully I can go to my wider stance, because the wider stance is for sure stronger. It feels stronger, but after hammering it day after day or session after session, set after set, I feel the accumulation of fatigue in my left hip. So let's see what happens. I got my back downs now. I got 230 for a set of 5, and then another 2x5 after with I think 210. So I'm gonna hammer those and then go right into bench. So the next time I'll be yapping will be after bench, where I'm not doing anything crazy, probably like 180 for a double and then 190 for fatigue single, and then some easy back off work, because the pressors are very fatigued. And I did 212 just 2 days ago in my quaternary, or now it's my new primary in a sense. So we'll see what happens. For deadlift, I am more, I guess, concerned because last week didn't feel too good, and I also didn't get to do my secondary day because of my lower back and hip. So hopefully not doing that day actually helped the fatigue and will allow me to pull something, low 7s. The top end's like 330 today, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, all right, done yapping. Time to bench and do my back downs. So as expected, the bench did not feel that good. Felt pretty damn heavy in the hands, and also my pecs and pressors were a bit too fatigued. The fatigue was still pretty high on my quaternary just 2 days ago. I did feel a little bit of chest soreness here and there, but I think today is another level. It's definitely more cooked. Even with the extra rest day, I think it's still more cooked and not as primed on this session in comparison to Wednesday's session. So what we're figuring out is that I need a back-to-back bench to prime myself, or at least that's what I believe. We'll see on this Wednesday when I do mess around with the exposures and the weights, but I believe I need a back-to-back bench to prime myself, and I also believe I need to take more sub-max loads, not just the day prior, but also on this day in particular, this Friday session, because last week I did 205 kilo, and it moved horrible. It was like RP 10. And I think that ended up adding unnecessary fatigue all the way until Wednesday, which was that quaternary, aka the new primary day, where I did 212. So I think that's why 212 moved a bit slower than anticipated, but also I think pushing the Tuesday session before that, where I did 190 for like a 2 count, was also too heavy before my 212 primary, old quaternary session, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this upcoming week, or I guess even now, we are pulling back the loads. So right now, I actually did not have a double. I just had a single at 195. Moved pretty solid considering how bad I feel right now on bench. So the 195, I think, will be heavy enough to bridge that gap, carry that intensity through. And then on, I think, Sunday, so 2 days from now, I have my tertiary bench, which is a mid grip. I'm pushing like 180 or like 175 for a triple. So pretty, I think, smooth work there. It's not gonna be too heavy. And then I have my I guess my new quantity, I don't know what to call it anymore. Basically my 4th bench day, or the least important bench day, which would be now Tuesday. I am gonna take I think I'm gonna pull back very, very hard. Probably gonna take like 3 reps or something for like a 3x3, just to touch something in the hands, go through the good range of motion, and I'll probably sandbag my back accessories that day as well to see if that plays a role in peaking me a little bit better. But yeah, there's no wasted data out here. Everything I'm doing is for the greater good of the future programming and for the rest of this the Sheffield prep. But just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean I wasted my time. I had to actually experiment with myself first to even understand or collect the data that it doesn't work out, So I'm all right with the process. It's all for the greater good. If I want to get better in the sport, I have to be okay with getting out of my comfort zone and trying new things. Like I keep saying, what got me to this strength, what got me to this point in my lifting career, you can call it, I don't think it's going to be the same thing that gets me past this and further into my career. I think I have to actually revamp the entire programming and my peaking and priming strategy a bit. But for squat and deadlift, I think those are fine. We'll see on deadlift after I finish these bench back downs. I'm not too worried about those lifts. I think if I just pace correctly and I stay healthy, they pretty much go up naturally. It's just the bench press that's hit quite a hard wall because it was like, I think, December of last year. I don't know, it's been like almost 11 months or like maybe an entire year from now where I hit 4 reds. Yes, it wasn't comp standard, whatever the case is, but I still hit 4 reds and I totaled 900 in the gym that day. So for it to be almost a year from then, I think I'm lacking a bit on the bench progression scale. So it's time to lock in, time to master this programming. I'm just going to take you on the journey with me, and everything that I'm finding out, I'll just be transparent and say to you guys as well. So bear with me throughout this, I guess, turbulent time, we can call it, but I'm very confident I'm going to show up on the Sheffield stage and bring my best bench yet. So time to do these back downs, going to finish these up, and then go on to deadlift.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Easy. Yep. Keep going. Nice.
Safe to say that that was one of the worst workouts I have ever done. Squat and deadlift were absolutely horrible. I took those same exact weights last block on the week 3. Well, last block was only 3 weeks anyways, but I hit those same exact weights for a 1 rep more and at a lower RPE. So this is by far one of the weakest days I've ever had. Squat was just impeded by the hip, and then deadlift, I just felt detrained. The movement felt like odd because I didn't get to do my secondary deadlift this week. So it is what it is. We'll see how we bounce back. On my secondary, I'm still gonna push and assume that I'm taking something big on the week 4 SBD, but If the week 4 secondaries feel bad, then I'll simply scrap the week 4 SBD and just start like on a week 0 or something, get some good recovery going in. But I'm still gonna have the mentality going forward that I'm hitting heavier weights next week. So anything can happen. I definitely need a miracle, but good thing I believe in miracles. So we'll see. But bench, still excited to keep experimenting with. But deadlift and squat took a big hit today because, in my opinion, it was because of the health with the hip and the lower back on the secondary days, which then leaked into today. So we'll see how we progress, but I'm still very confident in the plan we have set. But sometimes a road bumper obstacle pops up every now and then, and we just gotta maneuver around it. So I'll call my coach and we'll discuss the next options. But for now, I'm gonna have the mentality that I'm going in next week. I'm hitting 295 on squat. I'm hitting 350 on deadlift, and bench, I'm going for the 215 to 220 mark on Wednesday. So I'll record that Wednesday session and then throw it into the Friday SBD as well. But yeah, wish me luck. Pray for me, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.